Hi Aries, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for February. Hope everybody's well. I am going to take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Aries out there. So guys, just take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, Aries, you get in where you fit in, even if it's on the other side. But as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Aries? Aries. All right, Aries, you're starting out with the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Two of Swords in the reverse. And coming out together, we have the Lovers reversed along with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So you've made a decision recently. It's either a really big decision in love or it is a decision between two people. I do feel that, I feel like it took a long time for you to make this decision. You were very careful with this. You wanted to move slowly. You didn't want to just go and jump off of a cliff. But I do see that you have made that decision at this point. Be careful because you could be dealing with either someone who's a little codependent or you could have some codependency. It did require you to end something here. There's an ending and a loss involved with that. Either you're feeling the loss of that individual or you're feeling the loss of, finances connected to it. But I definitely do see an ending. So let's see who's in your energy. Show me who. Wow, that came quick. All right, Aries, the person in your energy, we have the Six of Swords. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Page of Wands. So this person that's in your energy, I feel like they're trying to move away from a chaotic situation, but they're not feeling good about it. There's a sense of chaos here. There's a sense of them moving away from the chaos, but not feeling successful. And the lack of success is somehow tied to your decision here. With the Page of Wands, this could be somebody who's younger than you, or they could just be a little bit more immature. They may be moving towards somebody new, or they may be reaching out to you. If so, it's likely the person that you had an ending with. Let me see the energy between Aries and this person. Temperance in the reverse. Yeah, this was not a balanced situation. It was not balanced in some way. I feel like it was extremely emotional for both of you. You were moving very slow with regard to this. The other person felt like there was just a lot of chaos. There's change going on in their life right now. They're seeking clarity in order to make the right changes, but they just are saying, basically, I need some peace here. I do feel that this has been very emotional for each of you, but there's definitely some kind of imbalance here. There's a lot of unhealed energy related to this connection. Let me see what's affecting the connection. Show me what's affecting this connection for Aries and this person. The Eight of Wands, that's communication, possibly travel. And the Five of Swords. Okay, so what's affecting the connection is that there was a back and forth communication that took place between the two of you. It did have to do with the decision that you had made. And I do feel like there was an argument here. The person in your energy is in the Five of Swords energy. And I do feel like it is definitely regarding the decision that you made. They're feeling like they have lost something, that this has failed, that what they were trying to achieve has failed, and they want to fight for it. But I'm not sure you're having that. Let me see the outcome. Show me the outcome for Aries and this person. There's definitely been some conflict here. And it's revolving around the decision you made, Aries. It's too many. Show me the energy and the outcome for Aries and this person. There we go. Ace of Wands reversed. Yeah, there's an ending here. There's an ending here, but this person in your energy, I feel like they're not going to let this go, Aries. They want to talk about it. Yeah, they definitely want to talk about it. This was a difficult decision for you to make, and I feel like you finally made a decision. It took a long time, and you basically let this person know what your decision was. They did not like it. Conflict ensued, and they feel like they're losing that battle. They're trying to fight for this connection, so you're going to hear from this person. Ooh, bottom of the deck is the Three of Swords. Yeah, that's underlying energy. And it speaks to heartbreak. It speaks to pain and possibly third-party energy for some of you. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Knight of Pentacles here for Aries? Why is the Knight of Pentacles here for Aries? Yeah, this looks like a really difficult situation. So, and that may have been another reason why you were very slow to make this decision. Knight of Swords reversed. Judgment. Yeah, it was a judgment call. It was a judgment call. You felt like love was passing you by. There were things that were not being said, and possibly if there was third-party energy, it would have likely been on your side, and there would have been dishonesty here as well. I also see arguments over a judgment call, and I see you feeling as if love was passing you by. There was a definite imbalance in this connection, and I do feel like some of you even felt like this person treated you very disrespectfully. You knew that there was an opportunity to come back together with this person, and that's where I'm seeing either a choice between two or a big choice that you were making. But I feel like you chose not to move forward with this person. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords reversed. We have the World in reverse. Yeah, so that's the lacking of clarity. You were needing clarity in the situation before you made the decision. That's what took you so long. I really don't feel like this was a decision, Aries, that was made lightly. I feel like there is still some unfinished business here, though. But I also feel like you don't want to talk about it. You know, it's almost this energy of I said what I said everything I needed to say, and now I just don't want to discuss it more. And yet there is this unfinished business that's here. I do see for a lot of you that there was, you weren't providing clarity to this person for quite some time. And so I do feel like that may be where some of the conflict is coming from. Let me see the bottom energy. Okay, yeah, more confusion. I'm seeing a lot of confusion on your side. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the High Priestess reversed and the Lovers. Yep, and then the Lovers go into reverse. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, there's third-party energy here. So something was revealed, but I feel like it was something you were keeping back. You were not telling this person everything. And I also feel like it had to do likely with third-party energy for a lot of you. Possibly it could have had to do with a fire sign, but it doesn't have to. But you knew you had to make a decision. And there was a lot of confusion about that because there's some codependent energy that's here. And also I feel like you were trying to, you know, you had options. You were trying to prevent as much of a loss as possible. It's almost this energy of feeling that you've lost something that's been very dear to you. I don't know what that's involving. It could have even just been a financial loss, but you were very confused. You were trying to avoid the loss. And I see that there was a decision that had to be made. You knew this, and so you decided to come forward and let this person know, you know, look, this is my decision. I feel like it was not in favor of this person that you were here with. I feel like you chose to go with a third party or someone else. And I feel like this person, you know, is trying to block that or prevent that. So let's look at their energy. But, you know, in all fairness, Aries, there was a lot that was not being addressed in this connection. There was conflicts. There was a lot of unbalanced energy. It was a lot of emotional ups and downs. So in all fairness, I can see that a lot was not being addressed. Now, this person is saying, no, we can work this out. We can take this relationship to a better place. Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Coins. Now, your first card out was the Knight of Pentacles. So what they're saying here is we can work this out. They're holding on to your energy. I do feel that this person is, you know, wanting to move things to a better place. They're willing to take it slow, but they're saying we have to hold on to what we have here. Let me see the Six of Wands in the reverse, because I don't feel like that's what you're wanting to do, and this is where the decision came in. Queen of Cups, you could be dealing with a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer. Yeah, they did pull back a little bit. They reassessed the situation. And again, I'm telling you, this person is coming towards you because they want to fight for the connection. They actually do love you, but they may be somebody who has a difficult time expressing their feelings and emotions. Well, they're going to express them now because they want to talk and they want to fight for the connection. Why is the Page of Wands here? Why is the Page of Wands here? I just feel like you're not as interested, though. They also feel like, you know, there's things within the connection that the two of you can, you know, can address, that the two of you can work this out. They're definitely holding on to your energy. We have the Eight of Cups and we have the Ten of Wands. They see you moving towards someone new. They don't want you to walk away. This is a huge problem for this person. So they're going to come to you. They're going to try to fight for the connection. They're going to tell you, we can keep this together. You know, I know there's a lot of problems, but you don't have to walk away from this, you know. And I feel like this person, you've revealed to them that there may be somebody else, and they're having a very difficult time with that. Let me look at the energy between the two of you. I feel like this is a deeply emotional situation on both sides. Okay, so Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, they've weighed up the pros and cons about holding on to this connection and moving it forward. And they've made the decision that they want to move it forward. Now, in your energy, it does show that a lot of the emotional ups and downs was caused through, you know, lying, cheating, stealing. I see lying. I definitely see cheating. So there's some dishonest energy here that is in your energy. And it is in the upright. So I do feel like, you know, if there was third-party energy, it was likely on your side. Now, if you're an Aries and you're like, no, it wasn't me, then you're probably, the energies are switched. But what I'm seeing here is that it was on your side, and this person is, you know, struggling with all of this. They see you walking away. They don't want you to walk away. Let me see what's affecting the connection. All right, we have the Three of Wands. We have the Hermit in reverse. And we have the Chariot in reverse. So there is a pause here because there is this unfinished business. There's something to do with unfinished business that you're having to slow down, to pause. And it could be just that you took the time to reconsider. You took the time to look at this, you know, trying to view from their, or see it from their viewpoint. At the end of the day, though, I feel like there's something here within this connection that's preventing you from moving forward as quickly as you want to. And you feel like you can't be completely honest about whatever this is. There's some stalled energy here. There's some unfinished business. Even though you've already made your decision, you will you will reveal that. I feel like some of you are wanting to physically move, and there could be financial implications to that that's kind of slowing you down, because we see a pause. We see you waiting here. You may be waiting to get the finances to move forward. And I do feel, though, that you are telling this person, look, I am going to be moving forward. I might not be able to do it today, but I am. They're trying to fight for the connection. I do feel like they pulled back initially, but they do have feelings for you. They do love you. They realize this, and they're trying to heal this connection. So they may have initially like shut down. I see this person kind of shutting down, and now they're going to fight for the connection. They're going to come to you and say, look, I know what we need to do. We can do counseling. We can do this. We can do that. So I do feel like they are going to try to stall this process as much as possible. But I also feel like you had a decision to make here, and you know what it is that you want to do. It may be at that point that you're saying, look, there is someone else, and I just want to move forward. So let's look at your outcome. Show me the outcome between Aries and this person. All right, that's too many cards, and I'm not comfortable with that. So we're going to pull those again. Show me the outcome between Aries and this person. There we go. All right, we have the Page of Cups reversed. We have the Moon. Yeah, and the Two of Swords. So what I'm seeing here is there is going to be an ending, but I feel like for some reason you're not able to completely move forward the way you want to. And it looks to me like you've made your decision, but you're keeping it secret. You're keeping it to yourself. You're not, for some reason, able to completely move towards this new person quite yet. Now, so you're in this energy of keeping secrets, and the secrets are revolving around a third party, a new person. You may even be telling this person, yeah, I ended that, but I don't feel like that's the case. For some of you, it may be. You may have had a choice here, and you may have decided to stay with this person for financial reasons, or because of a fear of loss, personal, some kind of personal loss. Because I do see a pause here. So I feel like the cards are telling me that ultimately you're going to end this connection, and you're going to choose this third party. But you don't want anyone to know. You're keeping that quiet. You're keeping that secretive. Now, in this person's energy, and this would be the person that you were with, what I'm seeing here is that this person knows that you're going to make this decision, but they're going to fight for this connection. So I feel like they're overwhelmed by you walking away from the connection. Two of Swords here, they're highly focused on you. And it really almost appears like it would be one thing if you had walked away just from the connection, but a big part of this is they don't like the fact that you've walked away from them and there's someone else. So I do have to mention that. I also feel like you feel that the emotions are kind of drained out of this situation, and some of you, there's a child involved. And that's where you're afraid of this loss. So, this looks like a very complex situation. I do think that the person that's in your energy is aware that you are walking away, and they may even try to walk away first. If so, I would expect a custody fight if there is a child involved. I am not an attorney, so I'm not giving any kind of, advice regarding that. But for some of you, it does look like there could be a child or children involved as well. So it looks very difficult. It looks like there could be a pause in the situation. But at the end of the day, I feel like you know what it is that you want to do, Aries. And I feel like you will be ending this connection. So bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands in the reverse. It is showing that there's a bit of unsuccessful energy. It is in their energy as well. So it does tell me that this person is heartbroken because they do have legitimate feelings for you. But you feel that this connection wasn't successful, that it's, you know, it's too unbalanced. There's too many problems. And I also feel like this has been painful for you as well. So it looks like a very complex situation. I'm going to pull some oracles and we'll see if there's any, you know, messages for either Aries or for the cross watcher. For Aries or their cross watcher. All right, so we have cassette, outdated thinking and conditioning, replaying events over and over in your head. So there could be some of that going on. And then we have separation. Yeah, unsure of the future, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, and yearning. So, all right, I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I hope it's given you some clarity in this situation. If you have resonated with this reading, Aries, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video. And until I see you in your next reading, know that you are loved, Aries, and namaste.